I'm going to walk you through your current situation and how you should get a Filipino VA. Hey, my name is John Jonas, and in this video I'm going to walk you through your current situation, at least what I think is your current situation. So I had a friend call me this week, and he said, I joined your One VA Away program, and I got online jobs, and I posted a job, and I just am not sure. And so he started talking to me about his situation. I realized, this is probably a lot of people. He said, in the last 10 years I've read 4-Hour Work Week. He said half a dozen times. I'm betting you haven't read it half a dozen times, but probably once or twice. He said, I love that book. I love the concepts in it. I love what it stands for. And I was like, yeah, totally, I get it. And he said, I've always thought I should hire a VA, but then I just don't do it, and because this reason or that reason. And he said, really, they're just excuses. I just needed to do it. And I'm betting that's probably your situation. You've thought I should hire a VA because this is what I did, but then you come up with an excuse of why you don't, and then you get an email and it distracts you and you just don't come back to the process. Okay, so then he says, I have this sales process that we do 10 to 20 times a day, and it's really monotonous. A customer sends us an order, we have to go put it in all these systems, and I have inside sales reps that do this, but it's crappy. And I wonder if, could a VA do this for them? And I was like, well, I mean, if you have a bunch of people that do it, and it's pretty simple and monotonous, yeah, they could do it for you. And so I'm betting in your situation, you have one or two monotonous things that you are doing, or that your secretary is doing, or that people that work for you are doing, monotonous things that they should not be doing, that if you could get someone else to do it who was $400 a month, $500 a month for full-time work, if you could get them to do that, your whole team would be so much more productive. I guess his concern was, are there people who have done something like this? Yes, thousands of people have outsourced something like what you're doing. In fact, we've had hundreds of thousands of customers over the years. I guarantee what you're doing isn't the first time someone has outsourced it. So then his next question was, relieve me of my concern of giving them access to my systems. So, and I would be willing to bet that one of your hesitations is, can I really trust this person that I'm hiring? So the answer to that is, well, it depends. The Filipino people generally, when working with foreign workers, or with foreign employers, are more trustworthy than their American counterparts. They're less likely to steal something. Culturally, they're honest. They don't want to steal your business. They don't want to steal your idea. They don't want to steal your money. They're not entrepreneurial. They just want a job. When you first hire someone, should you trust them with everything that you have? No, you probably shouldn't. You should give them access to something, but not everything. And then as they prove themselves trustworthy, you should give them more and more access. Now, it took me years to figure this out, that I could actually trust them. It shouldn't take you so long. So then his next question was, well, what about giving them access to our systems, like giving them a company email account, or giving them access to our accounting system because they'll need it. And I was like, well, how is that any different than a current remote worker in your business who they already work remote, they already have access, they already have a company email, they already have access to your accounting system, they're already remote, they're not in your office. How's that any different? Well, it's not really. They're just on the other side of the world, but they're just a remote worker, and they have a computer and internet access. And if you need them to use a VPN to get into your systems, use a VPN to get into your systems. Whatever. None of that is any different than anybody else right now, since everybody's basically working remote, or during COVID, everybody worked remote. Is the Filipino worker different than a current local remote worker? Not really. Are there some places where there may be laws, some industries where there may be a law saying this person has to be in the US and they have to be trained on these specific things? Yes. If it doesn't say they have to be in the US though, can you find someone who's been trained on HIPAA laws? Yeah, for sure, you can. You can absolutely find someone who's been trained on these things. So yes, you can find someone good. Yes, you can find someone who can work within your systems. Yes, you can outsource that task you're looking at. All of those things are super reasonable. So then his next concern is, how do I train this person? Because I know that if I bring someone in, I have to train them, and I already have all this training on how to do this sales process because we have all these inside salespeople that do it, but is that gonna work? Yeah, it's going to work. If you can train one person, you can train another. And this person in the Philippines is smart and they're another human. They're not, I mean, they understand American culture. They'll understand your language. They'll understand, like it may take you a little bit more work. It may take you less work to train them. But yes, you can train them. So let me give you some advice on training then. If you don't already have the trainings done, the way that I do this is with Snagit. I use Snagit, and you should find another video of mine where I demo using Snagit to show you exactly how to use this software, because this will make all the difference in the world. It's screen recording software that you open it up on your computer. It's going to capture like your monitors here. It's going to capture this segment of your monitor. You drag it out to say where it's going to capture, and then it's going to capture your monitor or your screen and your mouse and your voice and everything that happens. And you're going to say, hey, here's what I want you to do for this process. And you're going to go to this website and you're going to I want you to click on this link, and then I want you to get this piece of data, and I want you to go put it over here, or whatever it is that you're going to talk them through. And then when you're done recording the video, you're going to click stop on the software, and you're going to click upload, and it's going to upload it to the cloud for you, and it's going to give you the URL of the video, and you're going to send that video to your worker. And they're going to watch the video and hear your voice, and it's going to create trust from them to you, and they're going to understand exactly what you want. And when they go and do the process, they may not do it exactly right, and then you're going to go back and create another video and say, okay, hey, I see where I messed this up. Let me explain this again. And you're going to talk through it. Like, this isn't like, oh gosh, I got to write out another 40-minute email. You're just going to talk through the process again with this software, and then you're going to send them the video. Super, super simple to create training this way. Check out my video about how to use Snagit to create training for virtual workers. So he finally was like, oh, I don't know if I can trust this person again. I was like, look, the only way you're going to know that is if you hire someone. You just have to hire someone and see, like, do they give you signs of trust? Do they indicate to you that they're trustworthy? Because my guess is, at least almost every worker that I've ever hired, within a few weeks, they're showing me things that are like, oh yeah, you're like purposefully trying to be extra honest here with me when you didn't really need to tell me that. So yeah, the only way to know that is to hire someone. He asked, can they adjust to my time zone? How will they adjust to my time zone? So here's my answer to that. Number one, you can find people who are already working the night shift in the Philippines. There's tons of call centers in the Philippines that those workers are already working the night shift, and so they're used to it. So if you're going to have someone work the night shift, have them be already used to it. Don't take someone who's not working night shift and force them to the night shift. Second, if you're flexible on your hours, rather than say you have to be online 8 to 4 Eastern time, you can say, hey, when are you going to work? And find out, oh, they're already going to work from 4 to 9 or 4 to midnight their time, because that's when they want to work. And so that's going to overlap with your morning time by 4 or 5 hours. And so when you go to recruit someone, what I would suggest is be flexible. And if you don't need them exactly online during your specific time, then allow them to work when they're most comfortable, because you'll find people are night people or people are morning people, and you'll get some overlap there. I have another full video about how they adapt to your time zone, or how to deal with the night shift in the Philippines. Check that video out. So in the end, after talking with his friend, really, what he wanted was, I already know everything I should do. Just help me feel comfortable with this. And so after talking with him a little bit, it was like, okay, you feel comfortable, now go do it, right? And that's what this video is intended to do, to help you feel comfortable saying, yeah, I really can hire a virtual assistant. I really can find someone good. I really can do this process that I want. I know how to deal with the time zone. And if you're not comfortable yet, I have so many other videos on my YouTube channel where I will cover all of this stuff for you. So check out my videos, and if you need more help, great. Here, this will get you there faster. The Outsourcing Lever. It's my book that I recently wrote. I bought a ton of copies of it. In fact, I just bought 1,000 copies of it. And I'm giving it away for free at outsourcinglever.com. Go to outsourcinglever.com. If you just pay shipping, which your $7 that you pay for shipping doesn't actually cover my cost of shipping, but it's $7 to get this shipped to you, and you'll know everything about this. You'll feel super comfortable. Read it. It'll take you a couple hours to read, and you'll be able to say, okay, now I am confident. I can go and hire someone and bring them into my business and get the right person and get them doing the right things for me, so that I can cut down my workload. Again, my name is John Jonas. I started Onlinejobs.ph to help people hire virtual workers in the Philippines, to make it easy for that. And at Onlinejobs.ph, we do so much to improve your experience in hiring these virtual workers.